Hello, everybody. We're recording, right, Will?
Yes.
Only Will knows.
All right. Great. All right, guys. Give us a shout out. Let me know if you can hear me, and then Will just let me know if we're okay.
This is exciting.
Can everybody hear? Everybody see?
When Ricard says weird voice, is that something we're doing?
I think he doesn't like my voice.
Oh.
Will, I can't see the question, so you got to let me know.
Will, if anybody insults Ryan's voice again, let him know.
Will is muted, I think. I can't hear him.
Yeah, I'm.
But if
I'll be in and out with my muting going on and off.
Yeah. But everybody can hear. I can start talking.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. It's a morning here. I'm understanding this now. Yeah, everything's good. They can hear you. And yes,
Will is the translator, and he didn't know that he was the translator.
Yeah, and Ricard says he doesn't like your voice, so there you go.
Okay.
Lousy voice.
All right, guys. So this is going to be a real treat, and I'm super excited about this class. Now, I've written that, I've said that a million times, but it couldn't be truer, because if you caught the emails, this first class is going to actually give you an introduction into something that's really, really, really important to almost it's just really important to ZBrush workshops and to almost all the tutorials that I create today. So I don't know if I even told Marshall this, so it might be Marshall's first time hearing it, but his class on draftsmanship and I think it was it was a class on draftsmanship, actually.
Crash course in draftsmanship, that's right.
Yeah. Well, that was actually hugely important to the creation of ZBrush workshops and the way I create tutorials where I'm drawing over the model. And I think that that's one of the most important things about what we do with ZBrush workshops is just really draw those three-dimensional lines over the model so everybody's able to immediately see the form that's being described. So you're going to actually get, a good bit of that information. And Marshall's just a fantastic teacher, and I can't wait to follow it up with the ZBrush stuff to start taking this comparative anatomy stuff with the anatomy figures that are in ZBrush, and doubling up drawing and then sculpting. I mean, there's no other class like this that I know of, so it's really exciting to me. And like I said, I mean, Marshall is an incredible inspiration, both to what I do at ZBW, and then also just to how I teach too, because he's just a fantastic organizer of concepts, a fellow treasure hunter of concise, logical presentations. A rare breed. Marshall is the one I aspire to be. So, with all that said, let me turn this over to Marshall, or actually, sorry, let me give you guys a few admin things. There are some people who are new to Visualarium. The way this GoToWebinar stuff works, you have an option to raise your hand. If you raise your hand, then Will unmute you and you'll be live, ready to talk. Okay. If you have a point of confusion, if it's a really significant point of confusion with what Marshall's saying, then just raise your hand, we'll unmute you, and you can ask your question. If you've just got kind of a general question, write it down and save it, because Marshall's going to stop every 10 to 15 minutes and check in with you guys and see if you've got any questions, and then that way he can kind of chunk the information and then deal with the questions, at each chapter, by chapter. So remember, raise your hand if it's significant. If not, he's going to be stopping every 15 minutes. And then you can also just be typing the question in, and Will can feed that question as well and try to answer that. All right, now in terms of site access, everybody should have site access now, and everybody should be in the group except for 2 people who will be emailing to get that sorted out. If you don't have access, then email us at support@visualarium.com, and we'll get it all sorted out. Now, I'm still in India right now. I'll be back on the 10th, so I think even the next session I'll be in India. But it would be me and Will here handling the recording side of it, getting it to you guys, and then Marshall's going to be doing his great stuff. I come in about week 4. That's when ZBrush starts. So you've got Marshall for the first 4 weeks, and then he's going to continue for 2 to 3 more weeks after that. So you'll get doubled up at that point. Ton of information. Anything else that I think I need to point out? So we talked about site access, things like that, and forum access. Yes, forums are going to be in the class group. If you have any questions about that stuff, though, guys, just email us. We're very fast about response. It comes right into my inbox, right into Will's inbox, and we'll get it sorted right away. All right, with that done, I will turn this over to the awesome Marshall Vandriff, and thank you so much, Marshall, for putting this on, and I can't wait to see it.
Okay, I'm ready if you all are ready. Let's see, we have 2 hours, and 2 hours is nice. 2 hours lets me make a number of points at a pace that can be a reasonable and savoring pace. And it also gives a chance for you to ask questions, as you have heard. And I will adjust this material according to what some of the questions are, because I can go on for a long time. And I will go on, I hope, just long enough to where you are satisfied with the subject matter. Now, let me get my white marker here and circle what we're going to deal with. This is an introduction to animal drawing. There are a dozen different ways that one could introduce you to animal drawing. My particular way will be, first of all, focused on drawing. I know that that is a bias. I know that many of you may not be drawers, but you will be sculptors and modelers and maybe painters or whatever other things. But what I hope to do is make this emphasis on drawing useful for people in other disciplines. The animal bit, well, we've already talked about that a bit last week. And the introduction, well, introduction means, first of all, that I am going to show you some things today, like a little introduction to muscles, that when I'm done with it, because it'll take 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe more, depending on whether we have some discussion. But that bit on muscles, if you say, wait a second, I wanted more than that. Well, hang on. Hang on. When we go for the torso in particular, next week, and the hind legs in particular in 2 weeks, and the forelegs in particular, we will develop more about muscles. So the introduction will be a bit like an overview where I'm going to cover some important things that put everything into context, beginning with this.